I was born a Scorpio at midnight in the garden of the Himalaya, the Vale of Kashmir, the world's most militarized place, a nuclear flashpoint between India and Pakistan. I remember rowing a shikara, slicing Dull Lake with a heart-shaped oar. The foothills echoed my songs of despair in winter. Now in Bridgeport, I dream of mustard flowers dancing and laughing in the spring breeze, encircled by the Himalaya, or Himalaya, depending on how expensive your education is. My mother, who struggled with mental challenges, more about that later, loved the scent of summer blooms. She was fond of Kashmiri salt tea, the same color as the pink flowers. A game of cricket under Kashmir's plane trees, the chinar. A Farsi word, chi means what? Nar, fire. What fire? I was the captain of my college cricket team. I was a contender, somebody. Recognize me, a senior class at the Burnhall School, a Jesuit mission, relic of the Raj, that ended in 1947 when India divided herself. The Kashmir dispute is an unresolved geography of the British Empire. My grandfather and my father. My grandfather was a noted businessman. My father was a lawyer. Both were politically active, offering a way forward to solve the Kashmir dispute. Activism runs in my DNA. If you don't join the family business, my grandfather said, you're a traitor. He powered my DNA. I resolved to agitate for my inalienable right to determine my own future. Inspired by the classic 1966 film, The Battle of Algiers, my friend and I thought we could throw India out of Kashmir just as the Algerians had thrown out the French. Romantic revolutionaries we were. We chilled for months in jail, where I first read that in 1846, the British East India Company sold my ancestral home to a Maharaja for, get this, 1 horse, 6 pairs of shawl goats, and 3 pairs of cashmere shawls. Free at last, I flew to the future of another continent where millions had sailed before, outsiders in a land of outsiders, chasing a dream. I worked as a presser in a dry cleaning store on Coney Island Avenue, stacked grocery shelves at night, sold formal wear near Lincoln Center, and drove a yellow cab while studying political science. I changed my name later on. Women in Cashmere Shawls by John Singer Sargent, the magnificent museums on the East Coast, further fed my passion for fine handmade textiles. Napoleon returned from one of his Egyptian campaigns with a finely woven cashmere shawl for our Empress Josephine, who's shown here. She loved it, acquired more, and endorsed the paisley as a bourgeois emblem. Back in Kashmir, I empowered the blessed cruel work embroiderers who helped me meet the exacting demands of upscale interior textile studios in Manhattan, where I was known as the cruel man. pun is intended, naturally. Here's the paisley, rendered in cruel work. Every stitch hand embroidered on cotton duck fabric used for draperies and upholsteries. Let me help you make your home beautiful. Order now. Help me rise again. And rise again despite the pandemic and nearly 1 million Indian troops in Kashmir. Over 100,000 civilians have been killed, 10,000 disappeared, 1,000 blinded by pellet guns. Rage for dignity, rage. India has traumatized generations of Kashmiris. Depression, post-traumatic stress syndrome among adult men and women has increased dramatically, or have increased dramatically. Meantime, this happened. The pen of a scholar is mightier than the sword of a martyr. Columbia University gave me the keys to write an award-winning book of poems, My Mother's Scribe. And here it is, my homage to all mothers everywhere who become pawns in the great games empires play, tearing apart families like mine, partitioning the minds of millions, including my mother's. Thank you very much.